Hey everybody, so real quick updates on the evolving Epstein scandal, and we're joined by our contributor Peyton.
Hey.
So I know you've been out this weekend, you haven't been tracking it probably as closely as I have, but have you heard anything about this yet?
I knew that there were new Epstein files released. I'm not entirely sure what it consists of. I suppose I just haven't had the time to look into it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think that's 99% of people. So Owen Schroyer, old acquaintance of mine, I wouldn't call him a friend because I don't know him that well. Just a guy who's interviewed me before and that I used to be, in the same groups with.
Old acquaintance.
Both journalists together back in the day, right? So old acquaintance. He tweeted out just minutes ago, it's now past noon Eastern, right? Because we're publishing this on Monday, or we're recording this on Monday. And Owen Schroyer says it's now past noon Eastern and not a single cable news network has mentioned the Epstein files.
Weird.
Weird. That's the right way to put it. I mean, that to me is crazy because this is not like some InfoWars drop. It's not like on some discussion board somebody posted some interesting screenshots. Because we've gotten that stuff in the past where you find something really crazy and salacious, right? And it's like some screenshotted email. Then eventually you send it to your lawyer friend and your family or to somebody in law enforcement you know. And they're like, yeah, that's just nothing. You can't source something that's just a screenshot of somebody's tweet. That's not enough. But here you got the federal government using justice.gov, which is the website for the Department of Justice. Over the weekend, they dumped 3.5 million documents out there. Anybody can search it, justice.gov/Epstein. And so the way I'm treating it is I think of somebody out there, some celebrity that I think is suspect or think is a creep. I type their name in and see if they come up in his emails
Ah.
and the documents. So these are not, it's not proof of guilt. What it is, these are released emails from Jeffrey Epstein's personal Gmail, as well as random court documents that were tagged as relevant. A bunch of weird FBI, internal communications back and forth. And so you can't take this stuff as fact because you could submit something that's totally crazy.
Right.
And it could potentially be fed into this document release. So just because you're reading text on this website doesn't necessarily mean anything. But the emails to and from Jeffrey Epstein certainly mean something.
Yeah, they're very interesting.
And you get an insight. It's very interesting, and you get an insight into this guy's character. That there are people sending him like suck-up essays, practically. Suck-up essays where they want to impress him with how smart they are and how much they know about the world. And he's just typo-filled response and lower caps, Yeah, cool, come over later. Come over to the island, we got girls.
It's so funny because it gives you a little bit of insight into his personality, which I think otherwise wasn't widely known, maybe.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, who is this demon who owned an island and who trafficked children and had, heads of state fly in and out and was the stuff that's come out even outside of the pedo claims is absolutely fucking crazy. There were all these emails that he was involved early on with Bitcoin. Like not the creation of it, but definitely funding some of the Bitcoin labs in like 2014, 2015. They literally pitched him because at the time he was a free man. He was a tier 1 sex predator who was on release or whatever.
It's crazy.
And he still was a billionaire, right? So people would email him all the time.
And all of his connections.
All of his the whole thing is just insane. People have commented on Twitter, like, how is this guy just emailing people all day long? Like,
right?
What's going on here? Nobody uses email that much. I'm just going to read some of the craziest shit I've screenshotted. I think that's the best way to do this journalism.
I agree.
I'll just read this stuff. This is far from an endorsement of these claims, right? I don't know. I'm not, any more intelligent than you guys. Again, if you want to search through this stuff, justice.gov/Epstein. And where you won't get burnt is people got burnt with Pizzagate, is if you choose to spread this stuff, you're not spreading something that's like just a screenshot or just WikiLeaks, which a lot of people hate because the military was kind of humbled by WikiLeaks many years ago with that collateral damage video of journalists being gunned down from a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
And it was unintentional. They weren't trying to murder these journalists. But from that moment onward, WikiLeaks was kind of seen as a bunch of hippies. Whereas this, again, is the Justice Department website. It's the federal government. It's the U.S. government telling you, here's the files we want you to look at. And we can go down this rabbit hole of maybe there's even worse stuff. But this is already enough to work with. And so if you have nothing better to do and you want to delve into this mind rot, go for it. Like I said, the way to do it is you search for people's names. And if it's a celebrity, they're going to be mentioned in his emails because he's getting shit all day long. If he just gets some article that's emailed to him and it mentions somebody's name, that's not an indicator of guilt. But when you get emails from these celebrities back and forth to Epstein about crazy stuff, that's when you got to wonder, So let's see here.
Yeah, it's very interesting, especially when people have a lot of correspondence with him. And I do like how you mentioned that them or a specific individual being mentioned in the files is not a direct proof of guilt. I mean, I personally believe it's possible that people went to his island and hung out and partied and didn't do anything besides the usual, rich people type of thing. Do a little drugs, maybe drink a little, hang out.
I got invited to a Soros party many years ago. It's almost a decade ago. Party, one of the Soros children, one of George Soros' adult children, I guess his only kid, Alex Soros. So I got invited and I politely turned it down because my dad, rest in peace, was just like, don't go. There's no upside. I'm like, I'm curious. I want to, I get to hang out with elites. I'm super curious. He's like, absolutely do not go. And the foresight of my dad 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's great. You're rising in, YouTube or whatever. Do not go to Alex Soros' house, period. So I never did. But no, you go on the Justice Department website. The first thing it asks you is, are you 18 years of age or older? Yes or no?
That's interesting. Actually,
I
hadn't noticed that yet.
Yeah, because there's stuff on there that's too dark if you're a child. And again, where this separates you from the conspiracy theorist weirdos of years ago, people like me, is you got a federal government resource. This is a flagship law enforcement agency of the country. And they've created this website for you to just go as deep into the mind rot as you want. And if you're retired or unemployed, and as long as you have strong mental health, I would say go for it. Like here's an image which you can corroborate. Some of the influencers on Twitter have been saying the Epstein operation was mainly him flying politicians down there, hooking them up with some 17-year-old who rubs against them.
Yeah.
And then they're owned, technically owned, right? Because it's statutory rape. But he's not dealing with kids and he's not dealing with satanic, creepy shit. And some of the photos that have come out where the government has redacted the faces of the kids. It's a little girl in his lap, right? She's no older than 6. And there's some guy next to him on the couch, lecherously looking like, ooh, that's for me.
Oh, it's weird. All the photos of the little kids on his jet with him. And
I mean, there's a photo of a little kid sprung over his lap and he's playfully taking a bite out of the kid's butt. And the kid has clothes on, but it's so inappropriate if that's not your own child, even if it is. It's bizarre. And of course, in this case, it's not his kid, So just absolute insanity, though, when you look through this stuff. Some of the people who've been blown out, supposedly, let's see here. Bill Gates, very implicated. There were allegations in the emails that Bill Gates was asking Jeffrey Epstein for antibiotics because he was worried that he had caught an STD from the island.
Oh, wow. I actually didn't hear that.
He wanted antibiotics to slip to his wife without her knowledge because he was worried.
Oh, my gosh. Poor Kenzie.
Allegations only.
Yep.
But he was worried that his wife, Melinda, would catch an STD from him. Let's see. You guys really just got to go on the website. I'll link it in the description. Oh, here, this is really fucked up. This is probably we'll end with this one. So some Anon posted on Twitter, what the actual hell is happening in this world right now? This is not normal. Cutting up infants and eating parts out of their intestines. It's straight up demonic, unhinged, otherworldly evil. And so this email chain that the government released seems to be between the New York Police Department Detective Bureau of Child Exploitation and an unnamed FBI agent. So these credible sources, right? You got FBI New York corresponding with a detective at the New York Police Department. Here, I'm just going to read it. No commentary. So this agent emails the New York Police Department. I'd like to add a few other points disclosed by the purported victim. While on this yacht, he witnessed African-American males having sex with white blonde females, all of whom or bleeding during intercourse. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were then cut with a scimitar, but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from their intestines. He was also raped by George Bush I. Victim has disclosed he was escorted to the FBI building by Michael Moore, not the filmmaker, another Michael Moore. Described by multiple online sources as a conspiracy-driven news website. Let me know if you want to discuss the former FBI agent that called this into the head office. It's not an admission of anything real, but this is something that an FBI agent was talking about with somebody at the New York Police Department and never went anywhere. And so we got all these weird email chains that never went anywhere. But there's certainly enough to investigate. In the case of Bill Gates, there's certainly enough there to, look into him starting today. And again, the credibility factor, if you want to delve into this and you have strong mental health, these are real files in the sense the government has put them out. They're not screenshots from Nowhereville. So good luck. It's only Monday. I'll put the link in the description. Any final thoughts?
I guess just take advantage that we live in a day and age where, proof like this, the documents have been released to us to see for our own eyes. And on top of that, everybody stay warm. I know it's chilly in most places in the U.S., other parts of the world as well.
Yeah, no, so there's some darkness out there. And then this clip went viral of Putin actually saying that the West has been overtaken by Satanism and like eating human flesh and all this stuff. Now people are like, oh shit, he wasn't being metaphorical.
Yeah.
This is actually what he says is going on. So these claims, again, with babies being eaten, there's no proof. These are correspondences between people in law enforcement sharing their notes, basically, which to me is alarming in of itself. But everybody will eventually analyze this and figure out what's real, what's not. And again, you could submit some information and it could be untruthful, and it would still potentially land in these files.
Exactly.
But what bothers me, of course, is the government. The government 2 months ago said this is a total hoax. People should stop talking about it. And they turn around on a Friday afternoon and release these millions of documents.
It's
so
weird.
3.5 million documents is not a hoax. But again, these are just emails from people back and forth in many cases. And weird world. Thank you guys so much for listening. Stay tuned for more.
Thank you.